So the Canon C70 is already out for quite a while now, and new Canon Cinema RF cameras coming up in quite a bit. So you might asking yourself, is it really worth it buying the camera still in 2023? So I can honestly say to you, absolutely. And why is that? You're gonna find out in this video coming up. Hi guys, my name is Paul. I'm a German-based cinematographer, and this channel is all about filmmaking, gear reviews, but also DaVinci Resolve tutorials. So if that's something that you're interested in, consider subscribe, hit that like button. That really helps the channel. And if you really enjoy my content and you want to help me grow this channel to a bigger community, I would really appreciate it. So thank you. So needless to say that 2023 will be an interesting year, especially for Canon. They will finally announce new Canon Cinema RF line cameras, and one of them will be the Canon C200 Mark II. The C200 Mark I is already quite old now, and the successor is coming now. A very good hint on that is that Canon just dropped the prices on the Canon C200 Mark I. But the interesting fact is that the C200 Mark II will share the same sensor as the C70. So, and that also leads me to kind of a very good point here. The image quality out of the C70 is just phenomenal. We can record in 4K 60, we can record even up to 4K 120. We have now RAW in this camera, compressed RAW, and the dynamic range and the organic image on this camera is just amazing. I mean, you have seen all the lab tests from CineD and all the others. This camera here is just right below Arri Alexas and Red cameras. It's right in there. So the camera punches way above the price point. And for $5,000, this camera is absolutely the best camera I can ever imagine of, really. So this camera has so many great features packed in here and such a great sensor. So I think, so that also leads us that the Canon C200 Mark II will share the same sensor, that the sensor and the technology in here is still high class. I mean, we have all seen the amazing images, we love it. But I will think that the C200 Mark II will have a slightly different image processing than the C70, but the sensor technology in here is just great. And that already proves the point that the Canon C70 image quality wise is still worth it in 2023. It is rumored that the Canon C200 Mark II will be announced somewhat in NAB, so in April this year. So if you're looking for a Canon C70 and you want to buy one, I would highly recommend you to wait a bit, because I believe once the Canon C200 Mark II is announced, the Canon C70 will drop in price. So that could be beneficial for you. There's also rumors about the Canon C700 Mark II, which will have two sensor versions, even a 6K global shutter sensor or an 8K DGO rolling shutter sensor. So pretty interested how that's gonna turn out. Full frame sensor, but this camera will be right around, I think, the 25K mark. So I think most people out there are looking on the Canon C200 Mark II. It's pretty interesting in that one because it should have a box style camera, which is pretty interesting. That's a move that Canon didn't do before. So they always had like this classical cinema broadcast camera design, and I think they are going for a big market demand when they are doing that in a box style camera. But what I'm really interested about, how they are planning to fit in all the stuff that they pack the cameras with. I mean, with internal ND filters, XLR. I think the C200 Mark II will also have SDI. So these are quite a bit things that need space. So I can imagine that they will use kind of the cold shoe mount as they did with the Canon R3 and the other cameras, that you can attach via that a top handle with XLR inputs. I think that's gonna be the case on the C200 Mark II. Not sure if I'm a big fan of that, to be honest. But if it has SDI, I think it's pretty solid camera. I think also it will be priced around $6,000 to $7,000. So, and even then the Canon C70 will be a little bit cheaper on that. Build quality wise, I can honestly say that the camera had never let me down. I've I know many colleagues of me that also use the Canon C70 on a daily basis and they never had any issue. Also, the very talked about issue here on the hinge of the monitor, for me that's totally fine. I never had an issue with that. But yeah, just be a little bit careful on that, I would say, not dropping the camera and stuff like that. So I hope this video was helpful to you. If you have any further questions, you know the game, just drop them down in the comments below. And I'm gonna see you hopefully in my next video. And don't forget to subscribe, really helps the channel. See you guys.